Hey everyone, this is Tosh from holistichealthherbalist.com, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today I want to show you guys how to make rice powder. And the reason for that is because rice powder happens to be a very simple remedy that's been used for centuries by various Asian cultures to lighten and brighten the skin. So if you have hyperpigmentation, even just blemishes in general or wrinkles, this mask is highly anti-aging and it works really well to lighten all those hyperpigmentation spots you might be getting. So the first thing you will need, of course, is going to be some rice. And you can use pretty much any white rice. This one just happens to be like a Japanese rice, so the grains are really short and they're kind of plump. So I don't know if you can really see, but they're really small, these ones here. But like I said, you could probably use any white rice. And then what you're going to need is a coffee grinder like this one. And this one's by Krups, and it works really well to powder this rice. So if you don't have one, I think you might be able to use perhaps a blender, but if your blender has a plastic top, I would be hesitant because it might cloud it. Because I know if you grind grains, like I have a Blendtec blender, and I know that if I grind up grains, it can permanently cloud the blender. So I would say if you have a glass blender, then that would be preferable. Otherwise, having one of these in general is really, really nice anyways. So it's so useful, and I use it. I actually don't use it for coffee at all. I don't drink coffee, but it's really great to grind your herbs and spices and, of course, rice. So all you have to do is I would probably put like a tablespoon or so in here. So just pour some. I wouldn't put too much because I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess if it can grind coffee beans, it can grind rice. But I just put enough to coat the bottom of the grinder. And then you're just going to grind it up until it's as fine as possible. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so you will probably have to pulse it a couple times just to make sure that any hard pieces fall into the blade. But yeah, that probably took like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. I'm not really sure. But so now it appears that I have a good amount of powdered rice in here. And so you just kind of tap the sides and carefully take the lid off. And you'll see like some smoke. Well, not necessarily smoke, but very fine rice particles are going to like float up, so don't breathe those in. So now you have a pretty fine powder in here, but I still see a little bit of like pieces of rice in there. So what I'm going to do is actually have a little sieve like this, and I'm just going to show you guys if I can. See if I can do this. Go down here. Oops, we might be falling over. I guess that's good enough. So here's my plate. So I'm just going to show you guys. I'm just going to pour it in like this. And then we're just going to go like this. See that? It's really actually quite fine. And you're going to see here, because I've already made some just to make sure that it worked, but you're going to see like all of this right here is actually the bigger pieces, and they're not going to go through, which is perfect because you don't want these in there. So that's how you make rice powder, and it's really fine. It's really great. It is slightly gritty, which is perfect because you can actually use this, you can actually use this as an exfoliant for your skin. You would just add, you can either add some honey, and this one right here is Manuka honey, which is, in my opinion, the best honey to use, especially if you have acne or just any, you know, blemishes. This stuff is great, and the bioactivity in here is 20 plus, right there. And it's really important to get a high, I don't know what you'd call it, bioactivity, because this is telling you how much antibacterial properties are in the honey. So if you get one that's below, I would say like 12 plus, I probably wouldn't buy it. So you could mix this, probably like equal ratios to the rice powder. So you could do like a tablespoon and a tablespoon, or teaspoon and teaspoon, and just mix them really well together, and you can actually scrub your face with it. You could leave it on as a mask, which is what I prefer, or do both. You can exfoliate and then just leave it on with the honey. And you can also use, I don't know if you guys can see, there we go. You can also use rose water. And I got this rose water at my local Indian food store, and you can find this probably in most Asian stores as well. It's really nice, very soothing, it's antibacterial, and it really helps with the inflammation as well. So you could actually mix this into the rice powder until you get kind of like a paste, just little by little, and you'll know the consistency. You know, you don't want it too runny or anything. But you could put that on, again, you can exfoliate and then leave it on, and it works super well. You'll find that your skin lightens pretty much after like the first use. So I hope that you guys found this video to be useful, and I hope you all had a great holiday, a great new year, just all that stuff. And if you don't celebrate those holidays, well, I hope you had a great one nonetheless. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time somewhere on holistichealthherbalist.com.